Sunday Live.
What's up, everybody? I have the privilege of joining you on Sunday Live this week because Mike Wright is on bye, Brooks.
Because everyone's on bye.
Everyone's on bye, including Mike. He said to himself this week, this Bye-pocalypse week, he said, when there are so many decisions to be made, I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to go on bye. And he left me the wonderful task of helping each of you navigate through absolute sheer madness and terror. And to compound it, we were alerted this morning that Ramondre Stevenson was going to be out. Sterling Shepard not available to help you on your Bye-pocalypse week. No Antonio Brown for Bye-pocalypse week. So I'm going to do my best. I mean, that's all I can do, right?
That's right.
Do your best, forget the rest. And I want you to forget. I want you to forget any bad advice I give this morning. But there's just a lot to talk about, Brooksy. There's so much going on. And we want to thank Pristine Auction for supporting Sunday Live. You guys know about Pristine, but if you don't, check them out. Use the code BALLERS. They'll let you get some sweet swag from hopefully a player that's not injured or inactive or on bye. I see plenty of questions coming in this morning. I know I've had a lot of start-sit decisions to make, Brooks. In fact, I was talking through them in the studio this morning and forgot that Brooks wasn't. I thought you were still in our league of record and that I was just revealing a ton of information to you. But you've withdrawn. More important things to do. You want to get into it?
Let's do it.
The big picture.
How in the world does Mike read these questions?
He's a talented man.
He's just gifted. All right. Let's talk about some injury news that we got this morning. I'm going to bring up some of the discussions, the debates, the players that I have, a level of confidence in. Very excited to see that Antonio Gibson is going to be active, and you have to play him, especially in this week. J.D. McKissic got a lot of pub this week on the thought that Gibson was going to be missing. I think they're both good plays based on the matchup, the chance that they get down big against Green Bay. But Gibson is your guy. You drafted him to play him, and he's shown that even on limited work, he can still get into the end zone thus far this year. So Gibson, he's in my lineup. I'm moving forward confidently. Jeremy McNichols is back for the Titans. If you have one of those empty bench spots, which I'm sure no one has, these are the types of players you tack onto your bench right before the game start, even though Derrick Henry's immortal. Alex Collins. Brooksy, this has been a big discussion this week. People trying to find value in the Seattle backfield in case Collins misses. Tough matchup, but Pete Carroll says he's ready to play. So I expect him to be the highest value fantasy player on the team in a difficult matchup, so I'm not extremely excited. I'm certainly not pivoting anywhere but Alex Collins on Monday night. But, look, if you don't have a better option to pivot into, you don't have Ramondre. I mean, if I'm looking at Alex Collins or Kenyon Drake, I'm taking Alex Collins on Monday night. I'm taking that shot because I don't want to mess around with limited work. If you want to bank on something for a bye week, bank on opportunity above anything else. I have a Kenyon Drake flex situation going on. He scored twice last week, and you have Narrative Street saying, oh, maybe they'll get him involved. Yeah, 8 touches, in a game where, Josh Jacobs is going to be out there. So, and the game script, they're favored. The Raiders are favored. So I'm turning to opportunity when I can. What else is going on? We'll have Damian Williams back. This situation is unfortunate. You have Damian Williams and Khalil Herbert in a matchup where you don't like starting running backs anyway. So you kind of wanted to see some clarity. At least you had a volume playing Herbert. I've seen people on both sides of the fence here. How do I lean? I lean with the depth chart. I really don't think Khalil Herbert is going to usurp Damian Williams. And I don't think Damian Williams, he didn't get activated late from the COVID list just because he was dealing with stuff. It was protocol. So do I play either of these guys? I hope not. I don't want to play either one. But if I played one, it would probably be Damian Williams. And I know that, I think that goes against, Brooksy, That's probably one of our bigger questions this week is questions about Khalil Herbert.
Yes, definitely a ton about Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, I'm actually not. I just don't have a lot of confidence. The volume, you say volume play against Tampa. Well, the volume's going away. Damien's going to be on the field. So do you want 10 inefficient touches? That might be what you get. So other running backs, Sonny Michel is going to be out there. Desperation pivot in a game where they could be, he could get the fourth quarter. Latavius Murray's out. And I know here in the studio, Jason had the privilege, the honor of Devonta Freeman and picking him up on the waiver wire. To be honest, if you have to play one, he's the one to play. But if Tyson Williams came out and surprised and got all the running game work, it wouldn't shock me. It's not a 0% chance. If Lev Bell ends up stealing your limited, valuable goal line touch from Devonta Freeman, wouldn't surprise me. So if you have to play one, Freeman is the player that I expect to be on the field the most, but I have less confidence in him than others, I think, this week. But no Latavius. The surprise news this morning was Ramondre Stevenson. And, he had 8 touches last week. Looked good on the ground. Looked like maybe he would be this flexible option in a game against the Jets. And, he's not going to be because he's inactive. So he's not an option, which I don't know. This should strengthen your start of Damian Harris if it wasn't strong enough against the Jets this week. But this offense is going to run through Damian Harris this week. And then you look at Brandon Bolden, and I was talking to Brooksy this morning. I'm not doing it. You can't make me. Brandon Bolden is the name you go to because you say there has to be another name. He has 8 carries on the year. He had an opportunity. It's the passing game for him. But what's the game script here? What's the line now? New England is – what's the most recent line? 7-point favorites on the road?
Let me check that.
I think it's 7 points. So you look at Brandon Bolden and you say, I'd rather go Kenyon Drake than Brandon Bolden, just in case Narrative Street's right. And you need receiving work for Brandon Bolden. He's dealing with a thigh injury. Just don't even worry about it. Find something else. Jermichael Hasty was activated. Still think it's the Elijah Mitchell show. Fire the missile and hope for the best. Hope that it lands not on you. You shoot it up in the air and you think it's going someplace you want it to go, but it comes right back down. That would be unfortunate. Jimmy Garoppolo is the quarterback again. We have no Trey Lance. Wide receiver surprises. Tyreek Hill's in, McLaurin's in, Julio's in. But I don't know if he's in my lineup. But you might not have a choice. And when you're staring down Dante Pettis or Julio Jones, I think you better lean with Julio Jones. Darius Slayton and John. Yeah, Brooks, you approve that message?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's crazy. Allen Robinson is in. There's some question there. Preston Williams returning. I didn't see that one this morning, Brooksy. Preston Williams coming back. Devontae Parker's out. So, as is Sammy Watkins, Curtis Samuel, T.Y. Hilton, Antonio Brown. We talked about it earlier this week. And what else is going on? You have Sterling Shepard to join Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney on the bench. And so now you have Darius Slayton returning. I prefer Slayton to Pettis. I prefer Slayton to Ross. Daniel Jones and Darius Slayton have had a connection before. But last week, Dante Pettis had 11 targets. So, and Slayton has generally been more of a bigger play type of receiver. So I do prefer Slayton. I look at that game and I say, I've got to find a pass catcher that I can play. So I'm pivoting into Darius Slayton in one of my leagues this morning. I'm going to take him over Kenyon Drake. And Pettis is a dart throw. Is there another wide receiver discussion we need to have, Brooksy, or are we good there?
I think you got it.
And then one last big picture thing here, tight ends. We'll have Kelsey out there. We'll have Evan Ingram. The trapdoor of Evan Ingram. The second you put him in your lineup, the ground falls out beneath you. Not messing with it. I'm not doing the game. I know he's going to get targeted, but he's hurt as well. So I'm not playing around with Evan Ingram. Goddard's going to be back. Here was the huge one, Brooksy. You see this Darren Waller news?
Yeah.
The last I had seen this morning from those around the team was that Darren Waller, quote, doesn't feel very good. And this was a surprise later week inactive. Or, sorry, not inactive. Let me correct myself. Injury. They're on bye next week. So you ask yourself the question, Darren Waller struggling with an injury, and your pivot options suck, frankly. Your pivot options it's an afternoon game, right?
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, he's questionable or game time decision right now.
So you're looking at, you probably don't have a choice, do you? If he's active, you probably have to play him. But if he's a surprise inactive, then you look at pivot options. And you say to yourself, my pivot option is probably Gerald Everett on Monday Night Football. And that's not a sentence I'm excited to say, and you're not excited to hear it.
There, Cole Kmet with Jimmy Graham out. Maybe
He's the afternoon game as well?
He's a later game, yeah.
Yeah, Kmet's okay. I mean, not like statistically, but maybe this week. So that situation's awful. Is Mo Alley, people saying in the chat, Mo Alley Cox. You better get a touchdown. And you better get it in the wind because the wind is swirling tonight. And so I'm very concerned about the pass catchers in tonight's game right now. Because you already are losing some on the Indy side of the game. You don't have Hilton. You don't have Campbell. You have Zach Pascal. You have Michael Pittman and some tight ends. But it's concerning. Debo, Brandon Ayuk. If you have hope for Brandon Ayuk and the wind comes up and disrupts the volume, I don't know. Any other breaking injury news that I have to cry my way through, Brooksy?
I think you covered it.
You want to get into some start-sit questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Oh, wait.
Or
Not
actually-
start-sit. Yeah. Let's first look at some of the most popular questions on the site.
He's so hot right now.
It's almost like I don't do Sunday Live on the regular.
Yeah, me either.
But
That's
I'm
my first time,
smashing
too.
it, right?
Oh,
this
yeah?
is arguably the best one ever. The Bipocalypse edition.
Darn right.
All right, what do we got going on? What are the dilemmas? Share with me the toil of our listeners.
Number one player is clearly Devonta Freeman with Latavius out. And so, Andy, would
Ugh.
you start Freeman or wait for Alex Collins on Monday night?
Oh, gosh. Brooksy, what's the answer to the question? You're not just supposed to give me the question. Man. Cincinnati's healthy. I think there are people who believe that this is going to be a tight game. I'll still go Freeman. I don't really want to mess around with Alex Collins is ready to go. Is this gamesmanship?
And then Penny's back.
Penny's
He's
back.
supposed to be back.
Yeah, and so there is a non-zero chance that Rashad Penny takes half the work. So, yeah, I'll go Devonta Freeman, and I know that I'm going to get those third down, I'm on the field. That's on his resume now. I'm on the field on third down. So, yeah, that's a rough one. Do you have another Devonta Freeman start sit?
Freeman or Myles Gaskin, the gas man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame anybody for not wanting to live in the land of Myles Gaskin because it's not a pleasant place to go. And he seems like, he has a floor that is really, really low. So I would say that if you are an underdog, that you go Gaskin. And you just hope that you get 2 touchdowns through the air. You get if you're in a PPR league, your ceiling is with Gaskin. It's not with Devonta Freeman. But if you're a favorite and you just need volume and you need to get a few pedestrian handoffs and hope for something around the goal line, then Freeman is your guy. So most matchups, neutral to favored, I would go Devonta Freeman. Huge underdog, I'm taking the shot on the gas man.
All right.
But I will cry while I make that decision.
Sure.
Yeah.
Last Freeman one. Freeman or Devontae Booker going for the Giants against the Panthers.
Booker's going to get a lot of volume. And I think Elijah Penny stole a touchdown from him last week. But I lean Booker. I lean Booker because I think he just has more juice. And we talked about it this morning. Sterling Shepard's gone. How many targets just disappear because Sterling Shepard's off the field? They're not all going to Darius Slayton. They're not all going to Dante Pettis. Like, they're going to go to the backfield. They're going to lean maybe a little bit more on the running game. So, yes, Devontae Booker over Devonta Freeman.
All right, now another Booker question. Would you play Booker or J.D. McKissick?
Yeah, I think
at Green Bay.
I know. It's tough. The game script, you're relying in both situations on quarterbacks that have been ridiculously inconsistent with Heineke and Jones. I guess I'm going to go with McKissick, especially in PPR half point. If I'm in a standard league, I'll go Booker. It is close, but I lean McKissick just because of the volume. And Gibson could go out in this game too. He could miss some time. He barely played last week.
All right, Andy, Booker or
Stop
the
it,
missile?
Brooks. Just
Elijah
stop it.
Missile. The people need to know.
I know. I'm going missile on that one. Yeah, I think he's back and ready to rumble. I know Jermichael Hasty's been activated. Hasty is the break glass contingency plan of this team. They don't game script or game plan around Jermichael Hasty. He's not going to come in and get a bunch of the work. Trey Sermon's not relevant here. So I think I would go missile, and I would hope for this game to follow what I was saying before, where you have potentially some wind. Potentially this is an on-the-ground game. So, yeah, Elijah. Fire the missile and then run.
All right, are you firing the missile or playing Chase Edmonds against the Texans?
Yeah, I know he's in. I mean, that was one of the injury updates. He's playing, expected to play. We out here in Arizona, we don't have a good indication on how severe this injury has been. You saw him come out last week. He rips off a 43-yard run to start the game. You barely see him again. And the game script is one in which Edmonds has to be a part of the lead building. He has to be a part of the Cardinals going ahead of Houston. Because James Conner is going to be your let's let Chase rest the injury play. So while I think Edmonds does have a chance at a big game today, I think I'm going to try to pivot away from him in that decision. What else you got for me, Brooksy? I noticed that people want to get my attention with lots of fireballs and red dots, and I have seen some dinosaurs, and I appreciate the dinosaurs.
Oh, that's going to work.
And I think I'm going to see more dinosaurs after saying that.
Yeah,
but
that's a good strategy.
Oh, the dinosaurs are I mean, Herbert or Slayton is a dinosaur question I have here. Man, I like the Slayton play in this game. What else you got for me, Brooksy? What are some more mind benders?
Oh, we talked about him a lot on the show, but he's here at the top of the list. Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
Would you play him or Michael Pittman tonight versus the 49ers?
Yeah, I'll play Pittman. I'll take Pittman. I mean, they're going to – if the 49ers have any sort of lead or stay competitive, you're not going to be able to wipe out the passing game. And Carson Wentz has been – he's a strange story this year, and I know that, Mike and Jason aren't here to listen to this. Protecting the football, completing passes, high passer rating of late. So I'm going to give it to Pittman. The last time we saw him out there against, Baltimore, it was a big game. So I lean that direction. But, what I like, here's a good one for you. Michael Pittman above Sterling Shepard. See, I can answer that one. Shepard is going to give you a goose this week. What else you got?
All right, Lockett or Darnell
There are
Mooney.
more dinosaurs in this chat than I've ever seen before. Darnell Mooney or Pittman?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mooney or Lockett. Yeah.
It's almost like this is a difficult decision for people. I have more confidence, I think, than my cohorts on the passing game for Justin Fields this week. Robinson and Mooney, I will take both of those guys over Tyler Lockett this week and believe that, that's how you move the ball against Tampa, even if it's the third and fourth quarter, even if it's down 14, down 16, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna go that direction and hope for a big play.
Last one, you going Mooney or Corey Davis?
Mooney or Corey Davis?
At New England.
Yeah,
Corey
I'm
Davis.
terrified of this matchup for Zach Wilson. Terrified. So more afraid of this matchup than dinosaurs. I'll tell you that. So yeah, I'll go Mooney. I'll go with my guy Brooksy. How would you evaluate Mooney so far this year? It's a weird one, right?
He's had a couple top 24 weeks in the past 3, so he's doing what he can out
It
there.
sucks.
Let's just say that.
Doesn't it feel that way? Like he's doing 100%. Like Mooney has maxed out his possible ceiling in this offense with 16 pass attempts.
Sure seems that way right now.
It just like you can't blame him for anything, but you wish that there was and I don't know if it changes, right? Like they have to manage Justin Fields. So, all right, let's get into some more questions here.
Stardom, sit 'em.
All right, we do have a few questions from our friends at Twitch. We love our friends at Twitch. And Mike Davis or James Conner from Mr. Crunchy 14. Mike Davis or James Conner. I like both of these players this week. They're both in lineups for me. You got the Miami matchup for Mike Davis coming out of the bye week. You got James Conner. I'll probably stay in the Flames here with Conner. I think there's a chance the Cardinals put this thing away early because I just don't know if Davis Mills and company can get points up on the board against Arizona on the road, 17.5-point underdogs. And James Conner, while it's been unspectacular, has been kind of old faithful for them. So I'm going to lean that way, but both are very solid plays, and I wouldn't beat myself up too much on that decision because I think you're going to get similar production. Keeve D's says, help! In Dynasty, half PPR, Slayton or A.J. Green? A.J. Green, while I would love to just dance in the success of A.J. Green, he is still a player that, he gave you one catch 2 weeks ago. So I lean, if I am favored, I'm going A.J. Green. I'm going to get 4 to 6 targets and whatever comes after that. If I need a dart throw that's a bigger shot here, I think I'm going to go Darius Slayton and just hope the mind meld, the connection, and the hamstring all come together and you end up okay. Now, we have some ducks in the chat. Look, I've made a mistake, Brooks. I've brought the dinosaurs back. A real John Hammond situation over here. The dino DNA is too strong. The Waller pivot question is still coming through. If you didn't hear it at the beginning of Sunday Live, Cole Kmet in the afternoon, Gerald Everett on Monday night. The pivot only happens if he's out. Because otherwise, this is a tight end. You don't have other options that are good. Unless you got Dallas Goedert on your bench. If you got Dallas Goedert on your bench, put him in now. I'm fine with that. But even if it's like Zach Ertz, how do you not play Darren Waller if he's active? So I don't know if you have a better choice than that. Mooney or Kirk? I'll take Mooney. Unfortunately, with the Cardinals, you're playing a little roulette with the non-Hopkins options. So let's see here. We've got Hunter wants to know Damian Harris or Josh Jacobs. Damian Harris is an absolute smash this week. You agree with that, Brooksy?
Yeah, and I love Jacobs, but yeah, I would go Harris as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a crazy stat on Josh Jacobs where I believe he's the second worst yards after contact this year so far.
Gross.
Yeah, so he's not getting a lot more than what he's just being given by the offensive line right now. James Conner, Damian Harris in a PPR. I'm going Damian Harris. Damian Harris is going to be in my lineup, barring some kind of miracle bounty that I found on my bench in a bipocalypse, which you don't have. Goddard or Hawkinson? That's a good question. And you could definitely have both of these guys on your roster because Goddard wasn't drafted by a lot of people. Or if he was dropped before these trades. So I actually lean Goddard. And this is called the Jared Goff problem. Although both are good plays. Gibson or J.D. McKissick if you're facing down the two backfield mates in Washington. Look, if I'm full PPR, I'm going to go J.D. If I'm half, I guess I'm leaning the Gibson side. He's going to be active. It's pain tolerance. 2 weeks ago, he was fine. They're really close. I think since week 2, they're back-to-back in fantasy production, which is a little bit depressing. Why don't we want to root for McKissick? Is it because of the potential of Gibson?
Yeah, we want the full workload and superstar breakout to go to Gibson, just as fantasy managers.
Julio or Mooney? I mean, I'm going to lean Mooney. I just don't want to watch Julio limp off with my fantasy points. So if I have anybody, Rashad Bateman or Corey Davis, I go Rashad Bateman. I have confidence that, look, Corey Davis could obviously catch a bomb, but the Patriots defense takes away your best pass-catching option, and that's him. In fact, I think Jamison Crowder's an okay play compared to, some of these other options this week, because I think he may, on the underneath stuff, be a little bit better than Corey Davis. Bateman or Slayton, both are dart throws. I'll probably go with the better quarterback in that one and lean the Bateman side. I liked what I saw last week. Probably one more question, Brooksy.
Yes, sir.
Bobby Trees or Jamar Chase? Jamar Chase does not leave my lineup. He represents stability and upside. So, yeah, I'm not messing around. Jamar Chase has got to be top 3 dynasty wide receiver, I would imagine. Thank you so much for joining me this morning with Mike on By, and good luck. Look, the nice thing is if you're having problems, the other team is too.